Hey everybody, it's Tasha. I decided to do a follow-up video for Arrow's Season 5, Episode 5 to talk about Oliver and Felicity, their relationship or lack thereof, the fans' reaction to it, and the fallout on social media since the episode occurred. So there are two things that I want to touch on. The first is the backlash that's happened because of a tweet that Mark Guggenheim sent out. And the second is fans' reactions to the writer seemingly closing the book on Olicity. So I'm going to start with the tweet. Mark Guggenheim sent out a tweet saying that he can't wait to see the shippers take responsibility for the episode's ratings since it was hashtag the World Series. Now, this was probably said because a lot of Olicity shippers have said that they would basically stage a revolt and stop watching the show if the writers didn't put Oliver and Felicity back together and rekindle their relationship. At the same time, people who are anti Olicity or want Laurel and Oliver together are making the same threat. I have to say, as a businessman who earns his income from the success of this TV show, that tweet was in poor taste. It doesn't really matter if he meant it or if he was being sarcastic. Either way, what it ended up doing was alienating a huge section of the fan base. I understand that he's human and it has to be frustrating receiving constant bombardment from the overzealous members of the fandom. But as a person in the public eye who has control over the show, he has to be willing to deal with the backlash from viewers being unhappy with the way the show is going. This is something that's part of his job. He has to be willing to take the responsibility without lashing out and making snide comments to the group of people who help keep the show on the air. This is pretty much a surefire way to lose fans and viewers from a show that they previously loved. Now, the next thing I want to talk about is how brokenhearted a lot of the fans are because the writers seem to put the final nail in the coffin of this relationship. Now, I say a lot, but not all, because I think everybody knows that there are a vast majority of people who detest this pairing and blame it for all the failings of the last two seasons. They really want the show to just be focused on action and dramatic story arcs and skip romance altogether. But me, I'm a pragmatist. I know that there are three constants that you're going to find in every superhero TV show. The first is that the hero always has someone, a loved one, who dies and needs to be avenged. We've seen it on Flash with Barry's mom, Legends with Hawkman, Lincoln on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Again, Daredevil had his dad, Jack Murdock. For Captain America, it was Bucky. Then the second thing is that someone pivotal to the hero's overall journey usually dies and comes back to life. For the Flash, again, we had Nora Allen. For Legends, we had Hawkman. Jai Singh for Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. On Arrow, it was Sarah. And then the last thing that you're going to find, love it or hate it, on every superhero show is a romance story. It's there and it's not going anywhere. For people who really believe that this relationship is over, I pretty much think you're setting yourself up for disappointment. There's something about a show that chooses to tell rather than show me something that makes me feel uneasy. Arrow has a habit of doing that. They did the same thing with this particular couple in season 3 when they had Diggle and then Donna and then Ray and then Roz all tell Felicity that she loved Oliver. If they really wanted me to buy that this relationship was over, they should have had Oliver be aware of the boyfriend, having Oliver find out about him off screen, and no time being spent on it, or better yet, just have Flashpoint delete the whole relationship history, just like they did baby Sarah, but they didn't. They instead choose to wave a bright red flag saying, look, look, it's over, it's over. That very not subtle choice makes me think that this is just a giant misdirect. Now, Felicity, love her or hate her, she's been around since season one. So if she's going to have a relationship with somebody other than Oliver, they need to make this person matter. It needs to be handled the way they handled Ray or the way they handled Lila, so that this person actually is somebody that we can care about. I personally think that Billy Malone is nothing more than a plot device. He's there to help Felicity get through all the traumatic events from season 4. That was her crucible, just like Oliver went through. She was living as a suburban housewife, basically. Then she came back home. She got engaged. She got shot. She got fired. She was paralyzed. She had a friend die. And then she ended the season with having a bigger body count than Deathstroke, Ra's al Ghul, and Malcolm combined. She was not in a good place to start a relationship with anybody. And I think that that's why this character is really just there to be her escape. Beyond that, even with him starting on the anti-crime unit, I really don't feel like the writers are going to take full advantage of that opportunity to flesh out a backstory for him. I feel as though most likely before the season ends, he's going to be killed off the show and that relationship is just going to be over. As for Oliver, they're setting up Susan Williams to be his rebound person. And I think that would be great because she's smart, she's attractive, she's cunning, she's very much like Moira. Except they showed us basically from minute one that she's just going to want to be with him for her story. She now has proof that he wasn't always on the island, and her curiosity is going to get the better of her. She's going to want to dig into that story. And when Oliver finds out, it's just going to flare up his trust issues. Both Oliver and Felicity are on journeys. Oliver is pretty much on the last leg of a 10-year journey to become a fully actualized hero. Somebody who knows how to be a leader, somebody who knows how to trust, somebody who knows how to lean on his team. That was one of the reasons that him and Felicity ended in the first place, because he didn't know how to be honest and depend on the people around him. So I find it kind of ironic that the last major Olicity conversation was about Oliver being closed off and lying, and then they come back this season with him sharing stories of the Bratva while Felicity is the one that's lying. I'd bet money that the whole reason for these rebound relationships are to set Oliver and Felicity on a path where they have a better understanding of each other and then they reconcile. What do you guys think? Do you think that there's really a chance that Billy Malone is Felicity's new forever love, or that Oliver is really going to be able to maintain a relationship with someone new when he has to sneak out every night to go meet up with his ex-fiance? And lastly, is anyone else curious that there might be some irony to the whole no mask, no chance comment that was made in the episode with the recruits?